Today I have a project that I did before I was really shooting for YouTube. So some of it's going to be in vertical, but it's a really good project because it's actually the only time I've used this technique so far, and I thought you would enjoy this technique. I found this Drexel accolade set locally. I decided to throw it up on my Facebook Marketplace and offer it for customization. Someone reached out to me that lives a couple hours away and wanted to customize it. So I offered it for $1,000. I knew they were worth it. $500 a piece. I know that sounds really high, but this is a collectible type of piece. And she knew it because the story is she actually, back in the 80s, worked for a Drexel showroom. And so she was working there when this set came out, and she always loved it. So here she is, fast forward all these years later, she's creating her dream bedroom, and she sourced these and knew exactly what she wanted. So she knew their value. So that's something you should keep in mind. If you have a special piece, you can always offer it up for customization on the local, either your local website or your local Facebook Marketplace or on Etsy. Lots of different places you can offer it up for customization, especially if you know the worth of it. You can always Google Lens it, see if it's something special, get its value. That way you know what you're working with. So the client wanted a natural finish on this one. So I'm going to start with a good clean. I'm going to strip it and sand it to raw.
These were a great find from a local thrift store. I got the long dresser and the 2 chests for $300. So the client decided she wanted a natural finish, so I'm going to strip them. I'm using QCS. This is by Stripwell. It's a non-toxic stripper. It works really well on several different finishes. It hasn't worked on everything, and it's a little pricey. So reviews are kind of mixed on it. I've had mixed results. So what I started to do is test it on a little part of a dresser just to see if it's going to remove that finish before I spray it on the whole thing. Because like I said, it's a little pricey, but I love it because it's non-toxic. Don't even have to wear a respirator with it. You don't even have to use gloves with it. So to use it, you spray it on, wait 15 minutes, spray another layer on, and then you test it. You see, the finish is coming off really well. And so on this particular one, it worked great. Like I said, it doesn't work on every single finish, but what you want to do is just test it and see if it works on a finish. And then if you have to go in for something a little stronger, then you can. But it's worth a try. Like I said, I love that it's a non-toxic because I've even seen people use it in their house. So it's a great alternative to all the fumey strippers that are on the market. After I have it stripped, then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to sand it. And I'm going to sand it through the grit. So I usually start with 80 to get any remaining finish off, and then I'll go through the grits. I'll go to 120, then I'll go to 180, and then I'll pause. To clean the hardware, I boil some water, add some vinegar, let it soak, and then I come back with some Barkeeper's Friend and a very light abrasive, maybe like a steel wool that's 4 zeros, very, very fine, and get it all polished up. So for my sanding, you can see over to the side, I have all of my sanding grits lined up like an assembly, and I just run through all the grits. It doesn't really take that long. I know some people say, I hate that you hand sand so much. I usually use a sander for the first coarse grit. And then after that first sand, I'm really just refining the scratch pattern. So everything should have been removed with that first grit. That's why I usually start at 80 unless I have something really delicate. But I start at 80, get all of the finish off, then I'm just refining it. So here it is stripped and sanded, looking lovely. Now the client chose a natural Danish oil finish. This is what she requested. So I've actually never done just a full Danish oil on an entire piece. I've done drawers, but this is the finish that she wanted. So with Danish oil, it's really easy. You just put it on, let it set for a couple minutes, and then you just pull off the excess. But the key is you need to build up the layers. And so it takes a while. I think it was between coat 4 and 5 that you really started getting a bit of a sheen to it. And so you have to let it dry. I let it dry overnight. I think I let it dry for at least 12 to 24 hours. I can't remember. But that's why a lot of people don't like to use it, because it does take a long time, this particular finish, to build it up. So in between coats, I'm going to just put my little applicator in a glass jar, and that will keep that oil fresh until the next coat. I'm going to do a light sand in between the coats and then just continue building up that finish. Let's look back at the before. If you've been here, you know I love campaign furniture. And so when I offered this up for customization, I was excited that somebody chose something a little different that I hadn't done before. So here it is. Isn't that natural Danish oil stunning on this set? Wow. It's a really light finish. And so I just think it's beautiful. And the reason why she chose this is that she wanted the ability to just be able to reapply the Danish oil. So if there's, needs to be refreshed, you can just give it a really light sand and then go in and apply another coat of Danish oil. So it was something she felt comfortable with. And so, gosh, I think they turned out beautiful. So don't sleep on this natural Danish oil. This is definitely something you might consider to use on a future project. But tell me what you think. Have you used the Danish oil? I've always used the dark walnut. I've never actually used the natural one until this particular project. So tell me what you think. Did you like this finish? Thanks for watching.
Tell it again.